dog day afternoon, is it? Nice. That's okay, don't bother moving. Alright, get some shoes on. Hack up some more. We managed to get the lawn finally cut today. How about those boys, eh? Excuse me. Okay, what was I going to do? Oh, I was going to take you over the hill with me. Tire's good. You see, is it still raining? I managed to get the freaking lawn cut. What? Let's go check out the... Let's go take a little peek. I moved the wood over enough to get the mower in beside that. Tied up Mom's roses. They looked a little rough. Let's see here. Okay. Oh, should have mowed that guy. And sometimes I zoom through there, keep that down. Let's have a look, see. We got blackberries coming. Now my wife figures they only come every 2 years. Look at this. I managed to mow over top of the hose this time. So, let's see. We got a few UPOs, unidentified plant objects, and I'm going to have to pour more of this in here. More sawdust. Excuse me. And I managed to mow right down beside the rhubarb. This one's doing good, and we got another couple of plants that are doing pretty good. Look at that, eh? Awesome looking corn. Looks like we got volunteer corn over there too. I'm pretty sure the my wife wasn't how do you say it, due diligent with the seeds. Anyway, and you see that little green thing's growing up there? That's more of this stuff over here. Where is it? It's called horsetail. I believe it's a herb. You can look it up. We have an abundance of it. This used to be all rhubarb all along the side here, all the way down to the end. So we saved a few plants, 6 or 7, and gave some to a farm down the road, McCarthy Family Farm. Excuse me. Now, it's just started to sprinkle when I quit mowing, and I was going to come in, have lunch, grab the rototiller, and come and fluff this up, and then hill the potatoes once more, and then get all that sawdust put down, because I've got to go and get some more. Good, there's another little plant there. And there's another one there. We're missing one here, another one there, and perhaps another one there. So we're at 1, 2, 3-ish. And I think I got 3 down here. Volunteer ones. I'll just dig them up and plunk them in the ground. But the middle row, you'd never guess is the best, or one of the top ones called Superior, and that's not even growing near what the other ones are doing. Oh well. So much for listening to people, eh? That was my wife, actually. I was happy with the two that I had. This one here is Pontiac. That's a red potato. And up there, at the last row by the bags, that's Kennebec. Those are white ones. And I'm not sure what these ones are in the middle, but they're called Superior. You could always leave a comment, and nobody comments. Hardly, just mostly Alan. And sometimes John, and sometimes Jeremiah, and come on, boys, girls, let's comment. That helps us out. We got 514 people subscribed. Was 515, but I think YouTube gives us a extra one every once in a while just to make us feel good. And it's starting to rain, so let's get in the Jeep and we'll go over the hill and take a peek. While I was cutting, a guy, my neighbor down the road, drove by on his bicycle. I'm telling you, that hill, if he can pedal up that, he's in pretty good shape. Alright, yeah, she's starting to come down pretty good now. So let's get in here, and I'll dry you off. And move the seat back so I can get in. Oh, my bum. There, okay. Wow. How's that for sprinkles? There we go. There we go. Flip these guys on. Yeah, she's coming down a little bit. So anyway, oh, seatbelt. People have been spotting that bear down around Oscar's Hill, which is the hill when we just leave the Dorn Ridge part. Where the next bunch of houses are. So we'll just poke along. And looks nice when it's all mowed. There we go. We'll just poke along. The guy's supposed to come for hay, and that's another couple of weeks, maybe 3. Just come. And I'll get him to move the wagon. I just don't want to look at the damn thing. And you still can see it from the house. Oh, I missed going down the side here. I'll have to come down here with the mower once more. Just this little piece here. But I would say she looks pretty darn good. Oh, and I forgot to bring the saw. But it doesn't matter, I'm not going to get out anyway. Let's just go see what's going on up this way. I gotta put the defrost on, I see. Let's see here. Climate. Front. There she goes. Yeah, she's coming down pretty good. I gotta try not to forget. Come down here with a stake and mark where the well is so the guy doesn't hit it with his friggin' tractor. That'd be the end of that. Oh, scratched or not here. Well, we might be okay. Careful. Just this one. Let me get this one. I was going to bring the saw, but I forgot, and I don't have gloves with me either. Let's give that a try. Oh, almost. Oh. Yeah, I didn't think it would. We got, my wife watches her weather station, and her mother, who's reasonably accurate. And then I watched two of them, weather stations that is, and one of them says partially sunny, and the other one says rain. There we go. I hope I don't get stuck down in here. It's a good thing we got a four-wheel drive, but that doesn't mean I'm not going to get stuck. Because I've had a four-wheel drive for, let me see, maybe since I was 30s. And this isn't big enough to make a loop. That's why you got to go up here. I need a dump truck. Oh, parking sense. There we go. Need a dump truck, a few dump trucks. Loads of something in there to raise the level up. And this grass here was knee-high when I come in here. Not as thick as out in the field, but it was getting to the point that if I didn't cut it, I wouldn't be cutting it at all with the mower. But the mower did good. It's got about 250 or 60 hours on it, which is not that much, but boy, she's had a hard life. Because this was all like tractor fields. It was overgrown. Only a tractor with a bush hog could get through here. You couldn't drive a car, let alone a mower. Well, we worked at it, and I don't want to lose this because it's kind of nice to be able to come down here and check out what's going on. I gotta come in here with it. I need some, I tried that Fisker's Lopper and it didn't work. That thing wouldn't cut anything. And I don't want it to snip the branches off. I want to be able to get the bigger ones with the saw blade plus the lopper. But the Fiskars one, the saw blade on it was so dull feeling, and it was brand spanking new. It was a workout just to cut off a limb that was only a couple of inches thick. It was too big to lop, and the saw should have just ripped it right off of there. Because of that, I'm going to have to take a look around and probably end up with a more expensive one. But another thing I thought would be a good thing to purchase down the road is maybe a battery operated hedge trimmer. And then when I'm doing with the mower, I'll just hold the hedge trimmer up in my right arm while I'm going up against the woods, or the left, whatever the case may be. And I can cut all those little branches off in one big fell swoop instead of frigging around with those little handheld pruners. Now there's a good chance we'll see something on the road in the rain today. Oop, I see there's a sprout of grass growing there too. It was set pretty high, but what I like about this is that it's freshly mowed. It looks like $1,000,000. Look at that, it's just beautiful. It's just like the lawn at the house. I did snip a few branches off yesterday when I came down here. So this is 3 days to get this bugger cut. All the lawn. 3 today, 3 for this, and 2, so that's 8 hours for the side hill. And it all, to cut the whole thing, is about 2.5 tanks of gas. It ain't cheap. But that's just the way it is. Come in here and cut some more of this back. It doesn't look too bad. We were trying to get it so that it would make an envelope that you'd drive underneath, like a tunnel. But it's not. I don't think it's going to work, to tell you the truth. Wow. Oh, there's a couple of branches we can get rid of right there. Get rid of that whole thing. What is it? Maple of some sort. I think it's a gray one. I just love coming down here. It'd be nice if I was a lot younger, then I could go walking through the woods here too and make some nice trails. And if we had a different breed of dog, then they could have the dogs running around with me. But this particular breed, these Great Pyrenees, here, let's warm it up in here. There we go. Let's see if we can get rid of the fog in the windshield here. Oh. Okay. Lost in thought again. This is one little area that's got some friggin' rocks that I'd like to roll out of there. I'll go around the outside of it and you'll see there's that big one up front. There's 2, 3, 4. There's some crap down here too. I couldn't get in there with the mower. So I'll bring that axe down here and we'll clean up a little bit of it. And then this hill here, plus the end of the road. It's not too bad, like, come on now. I guess we need more wiper. But this little patch here, right from here down to the bottom of the hill, there's some real nasty rocks in there. There's probably a dozen at least. All it takes is me to get down here and do it. You might see a moose. Might see a goose. Boy, the weather sure changed from when I was mowing. And every once in a while you get that. Is that rain? When you're driving around on the mower. I could use Capper up here, fix up a couple of spots for me. With his excavator and then that thing for making trails. The excavator with his, or not his excavator, his skid steer with that forestry mulcher thingamajiggy. So you could make some, a few loop-de-loos in here, like a clover leaf or something like that, where you could go and drive around the edge of the leaf on the property so that you could get to see more of it. Mind you, this isn't too bad, considering. But this is where that hedge trimmer would come in real handy. I could take off all the side of that like nothing. Not only that, I got to get in that side road there and clean that up too. I don't want it to get overgrown so you can't go down there again. But you see this on the right? You could just take that off like nothing with a hedge trimmer when you drive by. I snipped a little off here yesterday, I guess it was. But it looks nice down here now. I wonder how thick a hedge trimmer can cut. 1/4 inch would be great, maybe even a little thicker. A 1/2 inch would be awesome. This isn't really a hedge. Just alders, most of it. To be able to go another couple of 100 yards to that creek. I've seen it once, and it's not the easiest task for an older guy to go through the bush that's that thick, full of tripping hazards and all kinds of problems. I walked this in 2013 when we bought it. When I walked down here, it was near the end of August, and I turned around and walked back. It was so friggin' hot, I thought, holy smokes, this is a fair ways. And then you enter into the field and you look up at the house and you go, it was yellow back then and it didn't look as nice as it does now. Anyway, you'd see that house and you'd see, holy frig, I gotta climb up that high. And there is no other way to get there unless you're a goat. You could head it straight on. I seen my son do it, but I would go up the roadway and then make that left-hand turn up towards the house. That's brutal in itself, walking up there, but at least you're not tripping over grass and crap. Within the next day or so, I've got to go over the side hill, tie a rope to the deck, so that I can get back out of the, over the hill, because it's too hard to go down there without any way to help pull yourself back up. And if I get on my knees, I'm pretty near going to stay there unless I can get some help to get up. I can get up, but it's excruciating pain. Yeah, just to be able to get that little extra off the side. And I can't get any closer in with the mower because it's all full of, I don't know, 2-inch, whatever these branches are on the sides. They're brothers and sisters that was that close to the road. If you go back in the videos to last year, you'll see how much bush I actually picked up off the road and chucked back into the woods. And every once in a while, if you look close, you'll see remnants of, well, if you look up here on the right, all those stumps sticking out. The mower just stops the mower. And yesterday, the freaking mower stopped going forward, just up here where I had to get my wife to come and haul me out there. Just up here. And what it was is that I drove into one of those leftover stumps, and I didn't hit it very fast. So all of a sudden the mower just stopped, and I couldn't back up, I couldn't go forward, so I disengaged the transmission, pushed it back out onto the road, and I got on it, and I thought, geez, the belt seems tight, you know, or like before I got on it, I gave it a bit of a tug, and then I got on it, and I was so grateful that the mower moved after I got back on. It was right around here somewhere, and I thought, oh no. And my wife's not home come back and get the mower. And who knows, a frickin' bear could come out and decide he liked the salty steering wheel and start gnawing away on it. They're inquisitive animals, and they can they're pretty powerful, and they can make a lot of damage in a hurry. When I lived out in Alberta, a bear went and peeled open what they call a gang box in the back of a guy's pickup truck. Just peeled up the corner to get into his toolbox in the back of the truck. Chewed the tops off of a couple of cans and consumed the contents. It must have slashed his tongue pretty good. You can see the rocks here. I got to be really careful here when I'm driving the mower. That's why I get this fixed up. So if Nick, you listen to these videos, it'd take us a couple of hours and you'd be surprised at how much we could get done between the two of us. And I don't think popping the rocks out would be very hard. And I can shovel them full later. I'll just come down here with the cart, fill it up with the gravel on the side of the bank way up here, and I'll fill them in myself. But I could use your help. It's for your benefit yourself too. The monster ones, I don't think so. What we could do is, or I could get a whole bunch of dirt and build it up around it so that it's kind of like bury the rock. The only other thing I know is you can get those, you get a portable saw, like a bandsaw with a blade on it that can cut through rock. Put that down there, cut a groove into the rock, and then just start pounding in those steel spikes into it. You can get them, I think, at Princess Auto for splitting rocks. And the size of the rock that we're splitting, oh, it can't be any bigger than, small wagon, like a kid's, or like a small kid's tricycle. Well, maybe smaller than that even. So here we are back at the beaver dam, the first one. And there wasn't really enough rainfall to make any difference in the little creek. And that's a horrible mess I got left with there. Would have been nice to level off the debris, but I suppose it'll all go in due time. Not much flow there. Oh, let me get the... There's a wild rose growing right there. Oh! You can see the cedars are all dying. Oh well. That's just the way it is. That's life. Yeah, that's a good saying by Robert Frost, I believe. He said, life goes on. So all the drama in life And all the stupid stuff people are doing and not working together and being kind and all that kind of stuff just makes it harder for everybody. You know, it took a long time to actually start to figure that out. It's hard to live by it too. This area right around here, by the way, is just easy pickings gravel. Just put the cart right up to it by the left. I mean, the bank is over the site, the height of the Jeep, and there's very little overburden on it. So a mixture of fist-sized rocks and smaller and grainy, sandy stuff that you stick in the roto. It should be okay. Oh, do I like to have one of those side-by-sides. I come down here daily, easily, 2 or 3 times a day. I could spend more time down here and less in the house. Boy, could I ever spend time down here and fix this up. There's some interesting plants down here. I don't know what half of them are, but I think the bulk of them are raspberries, alders, gray birch, some cedars, ferns, and a lot of UPOs. Oh, there's a maple. It's a nice size. Let's see that. The fir tree is a good 14 inches on the butt. Got to come in here and take a quick peek one day and see if I can find myself a down nice great big log, especially if I can get a cedar one. Then what I was thinking of doing, just thought this actually, if I make that log seat, I could go and get some that, you know, the walkway carpet, that rubber stuff, sidewalk rubber or whatever you call it, or hallway rubber. I could put that on the sawhorse or the seating things, logs, and then when we come out there, if it's been raining, just flip it over and the other side will be dry. So even no matter when you go, you can always have a dry side, and just make it so that it's easy to put on and off and it won't blow away. It won't go far if it does. Interesting. It's a good idea, Bob. You can get one of those indoor-outdoor carpet things, and when you leave, you can even put the nice cushy part to the ground or around the log. I wish I was younger, but I'm not. So, who knows? I got high blood pressure, cholesterol, you know, all the good stuff, right? And see that to the left of the house, that group of trees right off the edge of the deck? That's where I got to go down there with a rope. When you come off on that lawn part up at the very top around the side of the house, let me see here. Shut that thing off for a second. Here, let's close this. I got a few more minutes. There, just turn it off. I got to get a mosquito. He'd drive me nuts if I don't. Oh, now he's behind me. So anyway, my wife's going to have to give me a hand. I'm not really sure how about going about this. I think I'll take as a matter of fact, I'll have to take the shovel and I'll have to take the hand pruners with me, like to get the bigger plants. once I get them out, I'm going to have to put them in some kind of a container, and a garbage bag is not very good because they're not strong enough to be able to, these things are like sticks, these burdocks, when they get big. Anyway, they're just starting to get the burrs on them, and like I was saying in the previous video or whatever, you got to, oh, there he is. That's all you can hear in here is that. To put them in the garbage bag, you're just going to punch a bunch of holes in them, and then it's just a waste. What I think I'd do is maybe I've got the square garbage can in there that if you tied a rope to it and my wife pulled it up, she could pull it up and put it in the back of the wagon so that I could drive it away and just stick it over, and I'll put it right in the fire pit and get rid of it. But if we don't get them out of there, our long-haired dogs get it, and that thing instantly starts clinging to hairs, and it works its way into the dog's skin. And with ice I can get it, but I got to be really careful and tender. And because it wasn't tender with Thorn when I did it, I didn't understand. I thought different, and he won't let me near him when he gets one of those. You really got to trick him and try to get that comb in there and yank to bejesus, but I don't want to hurt him either. And like the vet said, well, it's only bothering you, it's not really bothering the dog. But the thing is, we'd rather have it broken open in the house where we could vacuum up the seeds, because we've got seeds all over the frickin' place now. And all they were at one point was up around the right side of the driveway when you're heading out towards the mailbox. But it is what it is. I've only been on the right side of this field a couple of times. Nicholas my son put a game camera in there, and we had everything but beavers on that thing. We had bear, a fisher, I believe there was raccoon, skunk, coyote, and deer and a moose. He's filmed in the field around here. And just over there to the right, there's an actual game trail coming out there. And when they come across here, there's two places they come across. Behind me, where the field is, just starting, and right around here, because we've got some apple trees just in there that we don't really have access to them because only one guy's gotten in there with a bush hog. So, as much as I'd like a side-by-side, a small tractor and a bush hog would really make a change. Because then I could go around everywhere with the bush hog and knocking it down, making places you can walk. You can see where the dogs have gone up in the center. You can see where it's worn out in several places. And in the wintertime, like I was saying last night, what happens, get myself a peppermint and get some spit here. Sorry about that. In the wintertime, that all disappears except for those bushes, the little ones, and on that cluster on the left, because all the leaves fall off of it, and then the dogs pack it down, the snow packs it down. There we go. Did I get him? Maybe. So anyway, that's that. Let's go. On the right-hand side, there's this little tiny tree where there could be a window behind it. There was before a window, and there was a shower in there. And what happened was that window rotted out the wall in that section around the window and the insulation and everything. So we had that totally repaired. from the water damage, like 2x4s and everything else. We got proper cement board in there, a waterproof thing, where we have a walk-in shower that, holy frick, it's as big as that cart, if not bigger, on the right there. It's nice. I wish it had a few more hoses in it and be like a car wash. You could go in there and just hit the button and go and be done. There's a couple of nice apple trees in here too on the right. They make monstrous piles of apples, but their trees are all overgrown. They're way too old, and I think what needs to be done is you need to take that great big piece out of the center so that you have the side shoots, and then encourage the thing to grow sideways and not up, so you can pick the friggin' apples. You can't pick the apples when they're up there about 40 feet, 30, 40 feet above the ground. And every once in a while the dogs get into these apples. It's like they play with them like a ball. Yeah, I've got to get down here pretty quick with the shovel, because these things are starting to produce burrs. There's about half a dozen plants right there, and there's a whole bunch. Like every once in a while you'll see one up here on the right. You got to kind of handle those things, get them now, because if you wait till they have the seeds and you're starting to move those dry ones around and the thing breaks open, you end up like my lawn here on this side especially. It's just loaded with freaking burdocks growing up, and I just cut it like it grows like a freaking lettuce. And I'm pretty sure the only way to get rid of it is just to dig it up by the root. But we're talking hundreds of them. I imagine, well, you could do it, I suppose. Oh, there's a crow. That's a beautiful maple. Ooh, there's a big broken branch there, it looks like. That's a beautiful specimen of a maple tree. It's huge. And the one behind it, the little one with the fat bottom on it, that's a horse chestnut. So anyway, thanks for coming. Got to see a few things anyway. Oh, there's a freaking groundhog. Did you see that? Where is he? Oh, little furry brown guy. Uh-huh. Yes, I'm going to have to get the old trap out. I'll get myself freaking lined up here before I go Don't like going all the way, then I can't get in there. Look, there's the dog. Yeah, I just put it over here. Thanks very much for coming along with me. I really enjoyed going over the hill in this little bit of a rain. We haven't experienced some showers. Luckily, I got the frickin' thing mowed. So anyway, we'll see you when we see you the next time. Y'all take care. And that's all, folks. And I'll be back. Goodbye.
That's all, folks. I'll be back.